Hey, what's up, otakus? We just got back from FenCon, my first time at FenCon, and man, everybody was there today. It was weird. Um, Agu was there, and you know, Josh was there. It was like Dave was there. Um, just a bunch of people were there, and I met some cool new people too. But yeah, Jens and I went to um, there first thing in the morning. We're first in line, and man, did we pick up some good stuff, um, including a major Grail book. Yeah, I mean, we'll get into it, but basically, I traded away a book, and last night, as you know, during my preparations, I put some slabs, I put some just books that we're hoping to maybe get trade value and stuff out of for a bigger book. And one of the books that I traded away was the Punisher first solo series. It's a limited series that kind of launched in 1985. And, when I started collecting, kind of like middle school is where I started really going to comic book shops and kind of understanding, hey, you got to keep these in good condition. Kind of when I started buying books from the comic book shop versus like picking them up off the 7-Eleven racks or at the supermarket. And yeah, the comic book shop was just like my newfound, it's just a newfound thing I enjoyed. I just love going in there. I didn't have a lot of money, but you didn't. If you had a few dollars, you could just dig and look for something that for a few dollars you could pick up because things were still back then like under a dollar, right around a dollar, 50 to 75 cents for a book. And then it just started going up and up and up, but still rather affordable. Yeah, it was still rather affordable. Books were just kind of hitting a dollar when I was in middle school. So yeah, there were still 75 cents to a dollar when I was in middle school. But anyway, that's when I started like kind of wrapping my head around this hobby of ours. And it's also when I started just like kind of like picking up keys and wall books and all that. So, when I was in middle school, The Punisher was a really popular, it was becoming a really popular kind of title and whatnot. And yeah, I just remember getting that Mike Zeck cover, Punisher #1. It's a Bronze Age key. Hey, what's up, Jens? Jens and I had a great time today. But I think I don't know. Jens was kind of like he went in like kind of with an open mind and expecting to pick some stuff up, but he really didn't really pick up much until kind of at the end there. And I think correct me if I'm wrong, Jens, but I think I just like I picked out all your stuff. It's like I actually ended up like picking out stuff because he wasn't buying anything, and I would pick out stuff for him and like, here you go, and he'd get it. So yeah, Jens didn't pick up all that much. I mean, he picked up really good stuff. I shouldn't say he didn't pick up anything, but he picked up good stuff. Um, but hey, what's up, Wellbore? So yeah, I traded away my Punisher #1 in a 9.6, and I traded it to John at Hill of Comics. It was my first real interaction with John for the first time because I've seen him around. He sold me a book a long time ago. I doubt he'd remember, but um, he sold me a book. It was like First Jukes or something like that. Really great condition book too. But yeah, he and I'd gone to Hill of Comics, but I always interacted with his associates, like his employee. And John's, of course, kind of he has a store in Everett. That's his base, I think. And he comes to these shows, and I see him at the shows. But I never really struck up a conversation or got to know him. He's kind of a big, intimidating guy. So I just don't, I don't, it's not he's not the kind of guy I would just go up to and chat up. But yeah, he had a book there, and I just offered him straight up. I was like, hey, here's a 9.6. First of all, I asked him, do you take trades? And he's like, depends on what it is. And I said, well, it's a hot book. And that kind of perked up his ears. Like, oh, okay. And I took out the slab, and I basically said, there's a book there. And I said, hey, you want to do straight up? And he said, yeah. I mean, I think he looked up recent sales in a 9.6, but he also looked at the book as well. And I'll get into that story more when we reveal the book, because that is the book of the haul. And right, Jens. So yeah, we'll get to that book, but we spent $40 today. $40. We picked up 12 books. Again, one of the 12 books is my trade. We got 11 books for $40. Okay, 11 books for $40. And I don't know what the math is on that. I'm sure I'm going to assume it's like around $4 a book, something like that, right? Yeah, a little under $4 a book. But man, is there a lot of value in this haul? In fact, I was very, I definitely was like, I got deals, so I would go up there, pick out some. I was first off, we did some rounds. We were digging, and there was nothing like screaming at me to buy, so I was just kind of like remembering, okay, there's this there, there's this there, and we were kind of just digging. It was a small show. We were expecting like a lot more vendors, a lot more, comic books and boxes and whatnot, but it was a pretty muted show from the perspectives. Like there were like maybe 3-4 guys who brought a lot of stuff, and the rest were just kind of like 4 or 5 boxes here and there. So, one dude was just selling toys and cards with older books mixed in. Again, Hill of Comics had a lot of books there. And luckily we found the book we wanted. There were 2 books, one Golden Age, one Silver Age. And the Golden Age book was a bigger book, and he would have taken trades as well. But the Silver Age book is definitely the book I wanted more. Nothing against the Golden Age book, but it is a big book and all that. But I mean, this Silver Age book is like, I still can't believe I came out of this weekend with this book. It's just like I was telling Jens, I was like, I can't believe in my wildest dreams, I wouldn't have thought I would have this book. If you told me, hey, you know, you're going to pick this book up from the show, I would have been like, man, you're crazy. It just didn't dawn on me that it was in the realm of possibilities. I would first off run into the book, and second off actually own it now. Now, whether I got a fair deal or not, that's something for you guys to decide. But I'm happy with the trade, and John and I shook on it. No regrets. I think he ultimately will get a lot of value out of that book, more value than probably, um, you know, I could again. We'll get into uh, we'll get into that story a little later, but yeah, we're gonna get right into the books. Um, so the first place well, I don't want to say the first place. Let's just kind of go. We're gonna go by vendors here, um, and like I said, we we kind of dug around and um, I picked my spots. And there's this one guy. He had really good books, but um, ultimately, I was like, I could pick these books up probably down the road, and one of them I had. So I was just like, I don't want to really spend money here. And then so I went to this guy. His name's Mason. I actually bought stuff from him back in during Grit City, and it took me a while to kind of like put two and two together. But I remember he had the dollar bins, and then he had to take off, and he had somebody there at his table, kind of manning it for him or something. Um, and so I had books, and then I came back for them, and he was gone, and she had been there. And it kind of triggered my memory. Oh, okay, I remember you from Grid City now. And we were chatting toward the end there. But I initially came by, talked to him, had some books, and then I put him back. And he kind of remembered, like, oh, okay. Um, so when I came back, he's like, oh, you're back. And I was like, yeah. And we kind of chatted how you know how the show went for him. And he was, yeah, he had moved a lot of books and all this. And he's down there in Tacoma, that's where he's from. So he's going to be at Grit City. Great guy. Um, and yeah, he had a great selection of books, but there was just like one book in particular that kind of brought me back to it. And then there was another book, and this isn't like I feel like it's not like I got the best deal. It's not like I got the worst deal. Um, it's just they're just two books I wanted. So um, we picked up. Let me just share my screen here. All right, so we picked up these two books, and as you can see the stickers on them. These were half off, and so this was really the book I wanted. It's like for $1.50, kind of mid-gradish. Really presents really well. Um, Not a big book, but it's just like a really nice Nick Cardy Superman book. Love these 20 centers, especially from Action Comics and Superman. So for $1.50, I was like, yeah, let me get this book. Hey, what's up, Braun? Man, you're gonna get blown away, so stay tuned. So yeah, this is the book that interested me, and then I saw this book in there, and no way you're paying. I mean, first off, it does need a press. You can kind of see there's like a little bit of curling action happening there. It's not terrible. It's not like, it's got some issues there as well. I mean, it's an $8 book, and for half of this, it was what, like $6.50 is what he's wanting for it. So $6.50 for this, and $1.50 for this. So it's ultimately like an $8 I would have paid $8 because he's asking for 50% off. So half of 16 is 8. And I said, hey, would you do both of these for 6? So about $3 a book. And he said, yeah. So I got these two for $6 essentially. Yeah, right. I grabbed both for 6, which is essentially lower than this book half off. It's like I basically got both of them for less than the half off of this book. But yeah, these Nick Cardy covers are, I just, I love them, it's just, they're fun. And this is a book I've been meaning to add. They're everywhere. First off, like there's a gajillion of these like 100-page Nick Cardy ones, but this one again, like not terrible condition, kind of in the grading condition and the price that I was comfortable with. So again, 6 for these 2 Bronze Age books. Well, money well spent. Those 2 pickups are nice. All right. The next place we hit up, and I'm kind of hitting myself because um, I'm hitting myself because I should have started digging here. And in fact, I found a lot of the books. We found like Adam Hughes, like Lady Rawhides that Jens was on the lookout for. And now if Adam Hughes ever comes back, I know Jens is just going to be like getting those books signed. But they were really nice, good girl art covers. I mean, yeah, but yeah, they were sitting in there for $2 each, and they had a lot of good stuff. I actually had to I had to do the, like, okay, which ones am I going to get? Which ones am I going to put back? Otherwise, um, if I had a bigger budget, I probably would have picked up more there. They had a lot of like just Silver Age, Bronze Age, just a variety of stuff for $2. Um, Kind of in the lower grade as well. But that's kind of like that's what I like to pick up, as long as it kind of presents nicely or could improve with the press kind of book. Um, Again, they probably had more Silver and Bronze Age stuff in there, and just people probably just picked them out, And I'm hitting myself because that's where, if I had I known there was like all that goodness in there, I probably would have, you know, well, I probably would have picked out, who knows what I would have picked out. That's the thing I'm hitting myself about. There could have been um, something in there really key, or something in there that we've been really wanting. Um, but yeah, it was like, by the time I got there, we'd had lunch and we went back, and a lot of the stuff was picked out, obviously, but they still had a lot of good stuff. But anyway, I'm happy. I'm not gonna kind of, obviously, you know, if we ever go to, FenCon, and I think they're doing another show in August. If we go back in August, and that they're there, I'm definitely starting there. I'm definitely starting with that guy's boxes, and yeah, I mean, a lot of good stuff. So let's get into what we picked up. They had uh, all the books were $2, but if you got 3, it'd be $5. So we got 6 books for $10. So just a little under $2 each. A little under $2 for 6 books. So the first book we got, just a fantastic cover. This is the cover by, we got Mike Mignola, Batgirl, special #1. Um, I mean, look at this cover here. Just fantastic stuff. Yeah, in there for, don't mind this, I've changed bags and stuff already. It wasn't 60 bucks. This was again in there for $2. It's got some spine ticks and whatnot, but the back looks really good. It definitely needs a press, but with a press, it would be really decent. So I don't know if I'm necessarily going to get this book pressed, but it wouldn't hurt, right? 'Cause it's got, you can see how it could benefit right there. There's some indentation there. But yeah, this was just a cover buy. Um, couldn't leave that there. I'd never seen this book before, and to be honest, it's just a beautiful Vignola cover. So I would love that kind of art. I love the warped feet there. Got the light-filled feet, but good stuff. All right. Um, next we got. I think this is the second appearance of Mongol, but we got this beautiful Brian Bolland, DC Comics Presents. Again, under $2. Really, it's got a couple spine ticks, but really decent grade on this book as well. Um, so yeah, it's a pretty cool, not a key or anything, but again, great Ballin cover, Superman, Legion of Superheroes, and the DC Comics Presents. Number 43 for $2. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff I love. And then you got Bolin, Superman. Uh, that's and the Legion of Superheroes. That's a good day right there. That's a good day. All right. This one is a key book. Now, there aren't condition issues. You got some, where is it? You got some spine ticks there. And you got a little bit of like a bend. Doesn't break color, but you can see the bend right there. See that? A little bit of a little corner issue there. But this is a controversial issue because it had some kind of insensitive, it was, this was around 9/11, and for whatever reasons they published, or they decided to kind of um, put the Twin Tower fiasco, the 9/11, into this book, like images of it and like mention of it and reference to it. And they realize, oh, wait, that's probably not a good idea. So they recalled the issues. So, in that sense, this is like a key book for a really kind of warped reason. Um, but I mean, it's still a great Ed McGuinness cover. And, right? Is this Ed McGuinness? No, maybe not. Uh, who's that? Ringo? Marzan? Anyway, pick this one up for $2. Yeah. Again, key issue. Normally in high grade, this is like a $20 book. I saw this selling for like $10 to $20. It's not terribly rare or anything, but I think if you're a Superman collector, things like this, the 9/11, the Twin Tower references and all that, that's stuff that's makes a book key, makes it kind of a collectible and all that. So again, for $2, um, probably holds higher value than that. So yeah, another good pickup there. Adventures of Superman. Um, and the next books we these are um, these all have like kind of they're like low grade silver and bronze age books. So let's start with this first one here. And again, I showed this book to Jens, and he's gonna press some of these for me. So Jens, again, thanks for um, helping a buddy out here. And just gonna unfurl this page because this kind of stuff just bugs me. I don't know. But hey, what's up, fanboy? Oh man, are you in store for man? You just gonna you're gonna love it. Stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. We got a big book. We got a big book that we're gonna show off. And totally just unexpected, man. Like it was just um when I got the book, I was walking on cloud nine all day. Um, Still can't believe I have this book, but yeah, we'll get to it in a minute. Just let me unfurl that a little bit. Okay, so as you can see, this we got this again for $2, like a little less than $2. Um, and it's got issues. It's got a little corner chip here. It's got a great date stamp. But as you can see, there's like it like bent. You can see the bend there. So it needs to be pressed. It's not really color breaking, but it's not, it's not sightly either, but not that big of a issue. In fact, I'm just going to put this under some weighted books tonight to kind of give it like a cold press. Um, as you can see, it's actually presents pretty decently. You know, it's got some foxing here at the top. Again, that chip, but the interior still looks to be intact and everything. Um, Again, just classic Schaffenberger cover here. We got the staples are still. I mean, there's staple tears, but it's still technically attached. So yeah, this for $2 just feels like a win. And I love, you know how I love these Lana versus Lois covers. Um, I told myself I stopped buying Lois Lane and all this, but I don't want to. I just don't want to stop buying Lois Lane. So we're going to continue to buy Superman stuff. Doesn't have to be Action Comics and Superman now. It's just anything Superman. I feel like if it has Superman in it somewhere, it's worth picking up. All right, I'm just gonna some a finger press this book so this corner stays down. All right, well, how do you think I'm doing so far? It's like nothing big, nothing major yet. Again, mind you, we spent so far $6 on the first place and $10 here with 6 books. And we're only 4 books in, so we got 2 more books from the 6 book haul to go. So yeah, all of these books here, we got 6 for 5, or sorry, 6 for $10. So technically just a little under $2 per book. Um, what is the math on that? I don't want to keep saying like 6 for 10 and all that. So let me just get a calculator up here. All right, so we got 6 books for $10. Nope, that's not it. $10. We paid $1.66 per book. That's ridiculous, man. These are pretty much like dollar books. All right. So this is the next one. This one's in a little better shape, and it's a Neil Adams cover. This is Lois Lane 91. It's got a lot of spine wear there, but presents beautifully. It's kind of what you want in a low grade book. It's like, you know, all the issues are not the image. It doesn't, impact the image. In fact, the color is really vibrant. And Lois Lane used to be Superman's girlfriend. How could she fall in love with that monstrosity? Beauty and the Beast. And we got Lois, man. Lois kind of just being a 70s go-go chick there. Loving it. Loving it, loving it. All right, so yeah. There you go. That was $1.66. All of these were $1.66. All right, and then this one, this is a book that had been on our wish list. I was kind of hoping to pick it up like we did, in the exact scenario like we did. And again, got this for $1.66. Heading into the summer of Supergirl. Boy, what a great Supergirl pickup here. You got some Bob Oxner Fire. Supergirl, I love me some Supergirl short shirts. You know what I mean? Supergirl in the short shorts. And got Zatanna. This is, I think, their first meeting. And yeah, again, but okay, you can see there's a lot of issues. First off, it's in dire need of a press. And again, Jens is gonna press this book for me, so it should look a lot better. It does have a big like tape pull, so the 20-cent sign is just out, which is kind of a bummer, but better the 20-cent sign than the image itself, right? So the image is really like intact. Eye peel is good. And yeah, for a low grade book, $1.66 for this. Yes, please. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful book. There's no like water damage or anything. It's just been read and loved. I mean, how can you fault a book for being read and loved? Yeah, wasn't a collectible. No one treated this like a collectible, but now it's my collectible. And I will make this look, give it, well, not me. I'm going to get help, but I want to get this book looking as fantastic as possible. And boy, does it have potential there, man. Pressed and clean. This book is going to be whistling hot, man. Whistling hot. When it gets all flat. Look at all these little micro dents there. That's not the bag, that's the book. So when we get this pressed out, it's just going to be fantastic. Fantastic. All right. So yeah, just to kind of show off the 6 for $10.66 books here, because this is actually just because Fanboy kind of joined late, so all of these books, $1.66 here, $1.66, $1.66, 6 for $10. All right, all right, all right. Now we're gonna get into some. Now we're gonna get into some of the bigger books. All right, mind you, we spent $40. We're only $16 in. We're not even halfway in. We're getting there, but we're not halfway in. All right. Whew. Let me take a little breather here, man. Some fire that we just showed off that last Super Pro book. All right, right back into it. All right, so our our main man Jason. Shout out to Jason, man. Um, he hooks me up, so I feel obligated to now be like, go. I just have to give him more business, and I'm happy to, because first and foremost, there's only two people, and this show was another. I shouldn't say two people. Um, there's a few retailers in our region. Okay, there's only a few retailers where I feel like they have all the books that I'm looking for. Right, Hilla Comics is one of them, but the way he prices those, like some of the bigger books, they tend to be like, he kind of overprices, to be honest. Meaning he he overgrades, overprices on the grade, and um, doesn't really haggle, or you can't talk uh, them down really. They don't negotiate, essentially. I mean, they do. I should say that. But you got to be. They're not going to give you a steep discount. So I tend not to keep them as an option for what I'm looking for, but more so, Jason, All American Comics, definitely. He's got such a great Silver Age selection, um, and they're mostly Superman stuff anyway. So Jason's got that, and then of course our neighborhood friendly shop owner Bill at Belkirk Coin and Stamp. He also has just a back room full of long boxes that have, not that it's a full run, but he's got a lot of issues, and he prices to grade, so it's everything's, I think, fairer. He definitely is better grader than John. And again, you can kind of negotiate with him on price, and he's very accommodating to me now. I mean, like, we actually ran into each other today at the show, and we had a nice little chat. It's like we know each other. He knows me. I know him. Um, and we had a little chat. It was kind of cool. So again, a lot of local guys today, and I'm just kind of, I wish I had been more um, mindful of taking videos and kind of, it was a good memory today. So had we taken videos and did more of a, I did do like an intro thing, but then as soon as we started digging, it's just like, I Jens and I both forgot. I mean, Jens, I think, did film a little bit more of the con, but I was just doing my rounds, searching, and then actually like thinking, what do I want to pick up? What do I want to buy, and all that. And when your brain's in that mode, it's hard to like pause and be like, all right, we're gonna take some videos of me digging now. It's like that's the last thing I position. But all right, I'm kind of digressing, but my main point is like there are a lot of guys there um, in the community today, and it's like I just felt like FenCom is really our local show here in King County area, like King County, Snohomish area. Um, Grit City's actually bigger, better, and you know, definitely a lot of collectors there. But this one felt more intimate, and again, like I knew most of the vendors there by name. A lot of the collectors that were just running around, kind of sitting around. Uh, I know either from their channels or just personally. Um, so yeah, it was just great. It was great to like um, hang out with everybody and chat. Again, I got to chat with a bunch of people today, so that was what was cool about it. And anyway, let's get back to kind of what the bigger books are, and we'll keep we'll keep talking about the show after we show everything off. All right, so Jason from all of oh, okay. Before we get to Jason's books, how do I know how to do this? Yeah, let's do this book first. All right, so there was uh, another retailer there, and I don't. He said they have like a physical shop, and they had a nice little selection of books there. So we dug through, and I only found one book there, and he had it priced out, um, and it was actually a really fair price. But I figured, those prices are there for a reason, and he would probably go down, not quite 50% maybe, but close to. So we made an offer. Now it's a low grade book, but again, it's the eye appeal that got me. Um, and it's a book. Now, now Big B has this book in very high grade, and I was planning to trade him some books for that, for a selection of the. Yeah, he has a bunch of 20 centers there, high grade. And I was gonna give him like a bunch of books for that little uh, selection of books, and one of those was a high grade version of this. But now I'm just thinking I don't need to get that in high grade. I'm fine with this copy here, and always judge a book by a cover. Yeah, good advice, Gordon. Um, so what we picked up here again, this we only got one book from this vendor, and I basically said, hey, he had a sticker price of $8 there, and I said, would you take 5? Because I basically said, first off, I want to make sure the staples aren't popped, and I took the book out, and right on the first page there was like writing, right? Some girl had just written her name across the book, Mary Kay or something like that, and he saw me react to the thing, and I just was like, that's fine. I really could care less that there's writing on the front. For me, it's about getting this book at the price I want. So I just said, I kind of put the book back in, and I put the book back, and then I walked off, and then I came back for the book because I was like, you know, I was doing my rounds, so I just like picked out all the stuff I was kind of thinking about, and then put it back, and then came back for the book. And when I came back for the book, I just kind of took it out, looked at the price and kind of gave him this look like, if you don't give me the price, I might not get it kind of look, you know? It's like, would you take 5 for it? And he's just like, yeah, sure. So I got Superman 261 for $5. Now, there's a lot of issues. You can see big spine stress there. It's dirty. It's got creasing there. It's got a mangled sort of edge there on the bottom. But the image, right? The eye appeal, this great Nick Cardy uh, pink sapphire. Oh man, right? Star Sapphire. It's a gorgeous book, and yeah, you know, in high grade and all that, it's a really pricey book. I think we got a mid grade presenting book that's low grade. It's low grade for sure, because the reason it's low grade is there's like big black marker writing right on the interior. Some girl had written her name. Again, I don't know what it is with these kids, but the kids just like sign their books like this is my book, like someone's gonna steal it from their room. But yeah, Mary Caitlin or somebody had written her name here on the front part of it, and yeah, I got a one of one Mary signature on this book. Um, but yeah, I mean that didn't bug me. It was just $5 for this would have been a great price, and low grade, but it presents like a mid grade. Um, yeah, so we picked it up. Very happy with this one. Really happy with this one. So $5 for that. Okay, so now we're at what? $21. We're officially no, what is that? We paid 10, 6, 16, right? And then this is 5. So 21. Yeah, we're at $21. Wait, the math is not adding up. Where did I'm short some books here. Did I accidentally leave out a book or not? Uh, that is weird. That shouldn't be right. Right? Got 6 books for 10. We got paid 6 for this. 521, and then the last one I paid 24. Oh, that's why. Because okay, so that makes sense. I actually had $5 in my wallet. I had $5 in my wallet, so that's why it's 45. We spent $45 today. So forgive me for the confusion. So I had $40 that I took out of the ATM, and then I had $5 in my wallet. We spent it all. So this should all add up to $45. Sorry for confusing you guys. I'll edit the title. But all right, so the last books we got 2 books from Jason's, and Jason wanted 25 for both books, and I said, let me think about it. Kind of took a walk around, um, and again, I spent the $6 at that place, got the Nick Hardy books, and I had essentially $24 left. And I was trying to milk him out. I was like, okay, I'll give you 24. Can you just throw another $2 book in? But he kind of looked at the books and then kind of, I think he was thinking I was like pulling a fast one on him or something. I wasn't. He had it priced this one out at 5. He had this other one priced out, and he offered me when he looked at it, he offered me 25. Um, so yeah, he's like, well, I can do 24 on these. He was fine with giving me 24. But what ended up happening was, let me just show off this book first. He saw that this was a signed book, and he's like, this is a signed book, and I'm like, Yeah, but you priced it at $5. So, um, you know, it's kind of on you. And so he was just looking at it and he's like, yeah, all right. And he's like, don't forget who hooked you up. And he kind of gave me this like, you better buy more stuff for me down the road. And of course, I'm fine. Gonna buy. He's my guy now. He's my Superman guy. But yeah, we got this great. Look at that. Got this great Art Adams signature book on Action Comics Annual #1. This is the first annual from the uh, post-crisis Superman. So you got John Byrne writing the story. You got Art Adams and Dick Giordano on the interiors. Hello, this is a fantastic Art Adams DC cover, and it's signed. So yeah, for essentially we got this for like I would say $5, right? $5. He had it priced. Just fantastic pickup. Not authenticated, but I'm pretty sure that is his signature. Um, but yeah, just a great again Action Comics key there. Action Comics annual from '87. It's a good year for Superman. From a comic book standpoint, not from a sales standpoint. From a sales standpoint, probably not, but from a content standpoint, I mean, look at this. You're getting Art Adams, Batman, Superman. That was nice. All right, for $5, we got that. All right, so this is essentially a $20 pickup. $20 pickup. And what we have here is a solid mid-grade Silver Age book. And let me just show you how beautiful this thing looks from starting with the back. This is the back cover. I mean, solid mid-grade looking book. Silver Age. All right, let me just reveal it now. $20. $20 for. Oh yeah, this is for you Superman collectors. You guys know what this book is. For those of you who are not, it's the first appearance of Luma Lanai, and she's Superman's love. But this is not what makes this book interesting. There's some weird stuff going on in this book. And again, it has something to do with the age of the book, obviously, because it's from the 60s. But Clark and Kara almost like hook up. They're almost like they love each other, but they're kind of like, like Superman's like, man, if it weren't for Earth laws, I would marry you and have kids with you. And it was just like it's his cousin, right? It's like his first cousin, and they're just kind of like, yeah, they're kind of they're kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? They're attracted to each other. They're their hormones are kicking in, right? But they're resisting the urge to go further, right? Like Superman's like, he's kind of like, we could just be together, but he's like, so after this weird exchange, Supergirl's like, man, I can't have this happening. We can't be doing this kind of incestuous kind of thing. So let me, hook him up. And so she basically sets him up with this other super lady who is powerful on worlds without a yellow sun or something like that. Um, anyway, it's a key issue, and yeah, we got this for $20. Fantastic condition, as you can tell, and beautiful Kurt Swan cover there. The Super Bowl cover as well. This is just and Jason hooked me up, man. $20 for this. I mean, um, this is probably closer to a $50 book, and he gave us a great price, 20 bucks, along with the signed book. So, I mean, 24 for these two. Pretty freaking amazing. Pretty freaking amazing. So, yes, I feel like it was a good day. Now, I'm going to show off the book of the day. I don't even want to. Yeah, it's the book of the hall. It's the book of the year too. This is the absolutely the best book of the year, and like I said, all I had to do was trade away my CGC slab 9.6 Mike Zeck cover of a Copper Age key Punisher first solo series #1, and we'll get into the story of that book. But let me just show you what we picked up. All right, so we did a trade. I'm gonna make myself big here again. So for those of you who are watching, tuning in, thanks guys. Keep the comments coming. I love that you guys are just enjoying this as well. So I was at Hilla Comics and I found this book. And as I told you, I had taken just some books that like I felt like if I could sell or get value for them, um, I don't mind. You know, if I can get a book that I really want for any of these books, it would be something we would be open to. So I found the book and I was like, all right. And I basically asked John, I was like, hey, do you take trades? He's like, yeah, yeah, it depends on the book. And I said, well, I got a really hot book for you. And he's kind of like, ooh, hot book. And so I got it out. And again, it's a CGC slab 9.6 direct edition Punisher #1 first solo series Mike Zeck cover. Classic book. It's a hot book right now given all the Punisher stuff, right? People are just kind of like going gaga for more Punisher stuff. And so I'm sure Disney is going to like pump out the movie. It's going to be a brand new day. We got a lot of Punisher shit coming down the pipeline. So I knew it was a hot book and that it would probably, I mean, John was just like looking at it like I could flip that easy, right? I could flip that in a heartbeat. And he just quickly took a look at what the last sales were, which I did as well. I knew what it had sold for, what it was kind of going for. Obviously, it's the floor right now for that book. So as time goes on and more content goes up, that book's going to start climbing. He's not going to sell it either. But what I mentioned to him was like, he was looking at the book and he's like, yeah, you know, I could tell he was ready to, you know, do something. But before we decided on anything, I was like, hey, man, take a look at the book. And he looked at it. I was like, that's a 9.8 you're looking at right there. And he was looking at it, he's like, he was agreeing with me because I felt like I got robbed. That should have been a 9.8 book. I got a 9.6. There's nothing wrong with the book. I mean, everything that's quote unquote in the grader's notes is like negligible. You know, it's like you can't even see it. It's like it's saying that something's there that's not there. Um, and I told him like, look, if you were to crack and submit this on your account, because you know submits a lot of books, gets a lot of books graded. I was like, it would probably come back a 9.8. And he agreed. He's like, yeah, I could see that. And I said, hey man, so I'm giving you a lot of value here. If that comes back a 9.8, that's like 1,000, that's closer to $1,000 book than it is um, in a 9.6, especially with that dark cover, right? And it was clean. My copy is clean on that dark cover. Usually you just see a ton of spine ticks and breaks there. So he knew he had like a really nice book. And I basically said, hey, I will trade you straight up. And he's like, I'll take that trade. And so we shook on it. And I, again, probably lost a lot of value. I don't really care all that much, considering I got that book back in the day off the wall for like, I want to say like probably $10. I probably got off the wall for $10. And then I got it graded, which was like 20, $30. So all in all, it's again a book I had since middle school that I picked up at my comic book shop. It's been a part of my collection this entire time, which, if I can give up a book like that in 9.6 and be satisfied, like no qualms, I used to really like the Punisher back in the day. Um, Not so much now. I've kind of cooled off on all the Marvel stuff that I used to really collect and be on top of. Um, and I figure, John's gonna probably crack and get a 9.8 and sell it and make a lot of money. That's fine. It's not something I was gonna do with the book. So if he does it and gets the results, he's more than welcome to. But yeah, that book is that book will come back at 9.8, and in this current, you know, mar- in the current market where Punisher stuff is like kind of in demand, especially that book and the first Punisher. Yeah, uh, he was smart to take the trade. Essentially, is what I'm saying. So he got a lot of value out of the trade itself, depending on where we land in terms of valuing this book. Now, I will say this: I put this grade at a 3.0, um, which had a 3.0. Probably this one's a little overpriced, but I didn't care. I didn't care. I just like I. It was a it wasn't necessarily it didn't have to be an equivalent trade for it to be a good trade. It just was like, this is a book I've been wanting. It's a big book. And I think when all's said and done, this book is ultimately going to be worth way more. I basically traded a copper age key in very high grade for a silver age key in kind of mid-ish, so low to mid-ish grade, right? In the 3.0, right? 3.0 range. Could be better. But again, I looked through the book, complete book. There's nothing missing. The staples are rather, they're tenuous, so we want to be very careful. It's not a brittle book at all. It's still, color still good. It's still, but let's just show it off here. We picked up he's got this double bagged and boarded too, as he should. We picked up I kept telling people guess what I picked up today? Picked up First Bizarro. Oh my god, yes. I picked up First Bizarro, and it's a beauty. It's a beauty. Now, John had it way over. I mean, 5.5. Come on, it's not a fine, but he has all the issues with the book there. It's got the creasing here. It's got again wear and tear just along the edges here and along the spine as well. You can see it's pretty worn spine, and like I said, the staples are attached, but uh, they're just barely hanging on, so you got to be careful. Um, there's a little bit of a spine split, I guess you would call it, just a little bit quarter-inch split there. Nothing crazy. Staples aren't rusty, but they're tarnished. Again, stains here and there. Here's what the back of the book looks like. Again, not terrible, decent. But yeah, look at that. First Bizarro for that Punisher book. So let me know what you think. Obviously, I'm happy. Maybe some of you might not have taken the trade, like $200 value for essentially what could be potentially a 9.8. It doesn't like that shouldn't be like, I don't want to think about it. If it were to ever come back like a 9.8 and John were to sell it, I just don't want to know about it, right? Ignorance is bliss. But yeah, that book was a really pretty book. And my only regret is I think Jens had been looking for the book and he kind of let me know, oh, well, that's the book I wanted. So I wish I had checked in with him to see if he wanted the book. Because, if he would have paid me right around this price for it, I probably would have been better to just sell it to Jens and then buy the book, But yeah, a little bit of miscommunication there. My bad, Jens. But all in all, in terms of the trade, very happy with the result, getting this book. So yeah, very, man. And what we're gonna do now is, I'm wondering if I should just keep it in this. It's got a very thick backing board here, which I like. So I figure I could just keep it in this sort of mylar thing and just put it in a, yeah, I could even just put it in a Silver Age. Hang on just a moment. Let me put it in Silver Age. All right, I guess I gotta take this book out. Put this book in. Nice, fits in perfectly. Okay, so there you go. We got fantastic Silver Age book here as the Book of a Hall. Action Comics 254 from 1959. 1959. I think this is the third appearance of Supergirl. And again, the first adult Bizarro, because remember, there's a Superboy version of Bizarro that is first introduced, and then that first Superboy Bizarro dies in the issue, so he technically is the first Bizarro Superboy that and dies, and then you get the adult Bizarro who doesn't die and just ends up being the continuity Bizarro. And Bizarro, there's a lot of bizarre type stories with Bizarro over the years, and I want to get those books too. I want to get the Bizarro family. You know that's also Action Comics. Um, there's these great Bizarro Superman covers where he's like a bunch of Bizarros are kind of carrying this Daily Planet like globe, and um, that's another appearance by Bizarro. So Bizarro makes a bunch of like appearances here and there, and to be honest, he was kind of like my favorite. Um, when you have the Legion of uh, Doom versus the Super Friends, um, or the Justice League, the Super Friends Justice League. Uh, you had Lex Luthor there, but you also had Bizarro there in the background, and Bizarro would always be kind of like the one, because if Superman weren't distracted, he could literally take all the villains out. But you had to put him in a situation where, okay, I'm fighting Bizarro, and then all the other heroes are fighting their counterparts, so it's kind of like this even keeled match. So that was the cool thing about Bizarro. He's basically just a dumb Superman, um, but has the power and all the vulnerability and strength and all that Superman has. Um, One key thing about Bizarro that is not on this book is his S is supposed to be backwards, and they introduce the backwards S as the character goes along. I just wish, that's kind of my only pet peeve. It's like they just got Bizarro in like Superman's costume when it should be more of like a backwards, kind of scenario. But it is what it is, and again, we're happy with this pickup. So there you go. Basically, we picked up our book of the year. It's a fantastic book. And man, boy, uh, just crazy to think. Like, I got up this morning and I had no clue what the day had in store, and lo and behold, we have just one of my absolute kind of grail books, man. Just right here. Just this is an absolute grail book. I'm sorry. There's no other way. I mean, it's not a grail, but to me, it feels like a grail book because, again, I just never envisioned myself owning this book. It's a pricey book. Um, you know, Whenever you see it at a show or whatever, it's several hundreds of dollars that you have to kind of spend on it. I think I would have probably come around to getting the book at some point, but I was just like so focused on like if we're gonna spend $200, $300 on a book, I kind of want it to be a golden age book and blah blah blah. But man, first Bizarro, I'll take that. I mean, this book, when I saw it, I was just like, oh, I want this book. I saw it. I saw the price. I was like, man, I wonder if he'd take a trade for it, and he did, and so we got it done. There you go. First Bizarro in the collection. Whew. Yeah, I had a great time. Man, I had fun today. It's been a while since I've just um, Jens and I have been having fun and picking up, but it's been a while since like going to a show and um, just just feeling, like just taking in everything you're seeing and the people you're meeting and the conversations you're having at the show. That was just really fun. And I think part of what made it, usually at a show, it's like you pick up all this stuff and then, I don't know, you just kind of like, I would have been happy with my pickups today for sure. There's nothing in this hall that it's very, everything's focused. Like most of it's Superman, very little non-Superman stuff. In fact, it's all Superman outside of the Batgirl book. The Batgirl book is the only non-Superman book in this hall. But like, yeah, this was just a great haul. And generally when I go to shows like this, I'm so busy digging, I'm so busy focused on, and I'm also so focused on like, man, I didn't really pick up anything I really, really wanted, right? You just come out of these, like, you have a wish list, you kind of wanted to pick up specific books, and none of those books were available today. In fact, I was looking forward to going to Randy's. Randy's our guy, Randy's Readers. He has all the DC kind of Silver Age, Bronze Age stuff, the Superman stuff that we want. But Randy, I went to him and he told me, hey man, when I do this show, I bring the DC books for Grit City, but for this show, I bring my magazines. And he had just a bunch of magazines there. And I'm like, ah. So he didn't have any of the books I wanted, or he didn't bring any of the books. He didn't bring comic books. He just brought a bunch of magazines, which is fine, like, but I was kind of disappointed. I was like, man, I would have spent money there, right? But then at the same time, like, I picked up a lot of great stuff. Um, and again, some of the items here, I'm just going to show off again, because these were actually books I've been meaning to pick up. So like, for example, this one is a book that's been on my wish list for quite some time. This is another one. The Supergirl book is another one that's been on my wish list. And the others, like this Lois Lane, it's been on my wish list for a long time. And again, for $1.66, Neil Adams, you can't leave Neil Adams there for under $2. Got the Nick Cardy stuff, a signed Art Adams book, and then again this beautiful. So we got our fill of good pickups here today, and yeah, normally when you're able to actually get the stuff you want to add to your collection, sometimes you come out of these things where you spend a lot of money and sometimes you maybe overspend on certain things, or you don't get the best deals, and also they're just not books that were on your list that did, but you just ended up buying them because they were cool finds or good value or whatnot. But not the case today. again, with the 40 bucks we had, we were very kind of disciplined and focused on, if we're going to spend it, it's got to be stuff we love. So very happy with this haul. And what a way to end the week. What a way to end the week. I'm just going to be on cloud nine for the next couple of weeks until Jens and I do our next plan our next excursion. But man, am I stoked. I'm stoked. I'm so happy right now. 2 big Silver Age keys, and man, feels good. All right, so again, thanks to everybody who came out today. Thanks everybody who's watching this video. Jens and I are going to kind of do another deal, and we'll share the details of that soon. You know, like, yeah, I think we got the bare bones of it. I mean, we basically have the bare bones of it. It's just timing it now, you know. Verbally, we've agreed to something, and then when it happens, I'll let you know what we gave up and what I got in return. So we'll do that, and then yeah, I think we're probably going to hit up comic book shops here and there until my wife leaves, and we're going to get the summer budget going once my wife leaves. And so the fun is yet to begin. The fun really begins when my wife leaves, I guess. That's kind of where we are. We'll plan a Portland trip and do all kinds of fun stuff. So, all right, guys. Well, hope you had fun. Hope you just had fun with what I showed off, and you know, I definitely had fun. So hope you guys did too. Yeah, let me know what you think of my pickups. If you were at the show, let me know. You know, we're planning to do. I want to do it, and I tried to plan this last time, and it never got off the ground because you just have a bunch of people like kind of non-committal and, oh yeah, I'd be interested in going, and then actually I was the one that was non-committal. Sorry, I don't mean to put the blame on anybody. The reason it didn't happen was because I got busy, and I said, hey, let's do it this week, the week of this, you know, this the second week of July or something last year, and I put the venue there, and we're just all gonna kind of meet up with our boxes. Didn't really get any commitments, but then I forgot something on my end ended up happening, and I couldn't go that week, so I had to cancel it, and I just never rescheduled. The people I invited are also probably irked, like, man, didn't you plan this and now you're canceling, kind of thing. So kind of wipe the slate clean there, and we're gonna do another, well, attempt to do another community trade here coming up. That should be fun. Hopefully everybody we saw today comes out, and yeah, it's good to see a bunch of people. So shout out to everybody today again. Really happy to see everybody. Yeah. What else we got coming up? Ron, you got anything coming up? Jens? Fanboy, you guys got anything coming up? Yeah, it is hard. Like even today, I I couldn't give Jens a definitive I can go or I can't. But Jens kind of got back from his trip and he was like, "Hey, do you want to hit up the show?" And I was fine to hit up the show. I was just like, "Are you gonna be okay though?" He just gotten back. There's a little bit of jet lag and there's fatigue and all that. So I was like, if you're good to go, I can kind of look into see if because I want to go. I do want to go. My only concern was like, how much do I spend, and is my wife going to be fine with the schedule? She was. She's like, yeah, you can go, and she's like, well, how much are you going to spend? I'm like, I wanted to spend more, but I just kind of said $40, and so she's like, yeah, and 40 was good. I mean, I'm happy with what we picked up for 40. The only issue is, I think it was a good thing I took the trade book because the trade book is what really made the. I mean, I got the big book right there with the trade. So, um, comic and toy show Saturday. All right, that's what I. Oh man, you got a haul coming up too. Nice. Are you going to be more focused on toys or comics? I figure both, but hopefully you pick up comics. I'm not, I love toys, but I'm just not big into toys. And so for me, it's about what you pick up. The Superman books you pick up. Justice League of America 63 is my target book. That's a nice book. What is that? That's the is that like Justice League 63 is that when someone is like a member joins or a big first villain? I'm looking it up now. Oh, that book. The Yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah, get that in a nice grade too. That's a good book. I also need to get that book. I have the book, but I don't like the condition of it. I kind of want to get a higher grade copy of that. But that's a cool one. Mike Sikowski. That's a good one. That's his last book on the run, by the way. I think Mike Sikowski's last book, which is why he like just kills everybody. He's like, "I'm Superman. I'm leaving, and I just want to kill everybody before I go." Kind of raging on his last book there. Yeah, that's a nice one. Don't overpay for that book. Get in a good grade. Get the price you want. Do it. Do it now. Um, yeah. Um, just got this, it's like when you pick up big books and you just walking on cloud nine and everything all day long. I was literally just happy all day because I picked it up fairly early into the show. I want to say it was like right around 11ish or noon. It's like an hour or 2 hours into the show. I just like just picked up one of the biggest books, one of the biggest keys um, you can have for Superman books, right? Um, Outside of the golden age first appearances. You got Brainiac, you got Supergirl, and you got to put Bizarro there, right up there. I mean, I would argue Bizarro is more kind of more pertinent than Brainiac is. Um, well, they're all important, but man, for me, like growing up, Bizarro, that was just like that was a fun time. Just the Bizarro episode or the Bizarro issue. Those are fun times. Um, so that's all good. Oh yeah, but what my basically like you have all this like kind of adrenaline from a good book like that. You know what I mean? Like you pick up a book and you just feel like $1,000,000. And I'm kind of coming off that high now. It's just like I don't know. I hope I can get to sleep. It's kind of like you have all this sort of like pent up joy, and then when you have to like kind of bring yourself back to down to earth, um, it can take a while, and I'm just still feeling um, fantastic about today's haul. So this will definitely go in the annals of um, just my best, one of my best. It'll go in the annals of my best haul. Um, Not my best haul, but again, one of my best hauls. And let me frame that. It's not just because of the big book. It's because of all the great. Like I really saw my community out there today. I run into maybe one person here and there. Um, but today, like to just run into everybody, at, at the same event. Um, like I said, ran into Agu, ran into Dave. Dave, I've never, outside of half price books, I never run into Dave. But I know how active he is in comic books, and like I've been just harassing him to like, let's go to Grit City. Hey, Grit City's coming up, let's go. And he's always like, nah, I can't go. He always comes up with some excuse or whatever. And today he brought like he basically bought a $500 book. He spent $500 at a vendor and got some big books. And then we were talking like, hey, let's get together for a trade and all that. But I never see him at a show, and there he was today. And again, Josh, uh, from the Summer of Superman. I don't know if you remember, but uh, Josh, he is a great community friend, and he's another guy. We're kind of separated by distance. He's up there near Marysville, and he gifted me a bunch of books, and he's another guy. I just constantly kind of message and text and say, hey, when are you ready to hang out? Let's go get some books. And there have been a couple times where like, hey, I'm going to Everett Comics, let's go. And he's like, yeah, I'll join you. And then he'll be like, oh, something came up, I can't go next time. And then next time comes and I'm like, hey, let's go. And he's like, my work schedule, don't have time this month or this week. And so you kind of like, it's hard to coordinate. And I've just been meaning to like hang out with Josh too, but life gets busy, and you kind of like you kind of forget to like, hey, let's do our next thing together. Part of it is because I also like, I'm not buying comic books all the time, so when I do get money, I try to like, I do try to reach out and say like, hey, you want to go hunt for books or something? But yeah, Josh, we hadn't talked to Josh since like late last summer, and or I would say like I think I also said, hey, why don't you and I go to Grit City? I'm gonna go to Grit City. You're gonna be there, and he's like, no. But anyway, he's trying to purge some books again. So I was like, hey man, hit me up. Let's get some trades going because I'll give you a bunch of books just for whatever you want to throw in. So hopefully he's can free up some time. I told him, hey man, I'll come to your neck of the woods. So just give me a day I can hang out with you and chill out with you. So yeah, it was great to see Josh. It's great to see what else did we run into? I already mentioned Agu. Again, great to see all the vendors. Russ, John. We met Mason today, Jason. Met a really nice lady. She collects like Moon Knight. She's the one that actually was manning the booth. I don't know if it was her husband or her business partner or whatever, or maybe just her employee. But there's an older gentleman there. We were talking. I was telling him about my first Bizarro pickup, so we're just like, that's a cool pickup, and we're talking shop there. Yeah, kind of like really connected with John from Hill of Comics for the first time. That was cool. Comic Tom, Jeff from the Golden Age Guru. Those guys popped in. Immaculate Comics, the dude from Immaculate Comics just kind of was walking around like a superstar. And yeah, all the vendors knew each other really well. It just was like kind of like a family atmosphere, Met Montel. I think his name's Montel. It's Montel or Montrell. Met Montrell, big Jim Lee guy. Gonna try to invite him to comic books. Just a bunch of people there. So this is kind of like our local scene, and to be part of the local scene, not that I'm like a big major part of the local scene, but yeah, I just feel like today's show was fun because it was like, just kind of brought everybody together. Like seriously, like just the people that are kind of live close to me, and people I've gotten to know over the years. They're just kind of all there hanging out, buying books. And of course I had my best buddy there, Jens. He and I 2026 has been special because of Jens, and just really happy he's part of my community, and I'm just happy to have him as a friend because if not for him, I wouldn't have ventured out today, to be honest. And the fact that we had talked about it, and I kind of talked him out of like, hey, let's not go to that one. Doesn't seem like it's going to be a good show, and blah blah blah. Like, I kind of was like, we should save our money for Portland and kind of just resist the urge to do it. But now it's like I kind of want to go in August again, to be honest. It was that much fun. It'll just be cool to see what people, and that's another thing, Jens. I don't know if you noticed, but Astonishing Tales was not there. The dude from Astonishing Tales, for whatever reasons, backed out or didn't show up. So we still got hit up Astonishing Tales with. I just think he didn't get around to pricing the books. I think that's why he didn't show up. But yeah, it was just a fun day all around. Just a fun day all around, and yeah, Jens, man, yeah, thanks for getting us out there, man. Seriously, like I know you were probably expecting more out of today. Like, I think you were hyped, really hyped for it more than I was. But I think it ended up being like where I came out like super stoked, like with my pickups and the whole experience, and you were kind of like, no, I didn't really get anything. I mean, I know you got some books, you got some great books, and can't wait to see you reveal them on your channel. But you know what I mean? It's like I just feel like you're probably tired, and it ended up being like probably um, something you could have held back on. Like you could have like not gone to the show and maybe still picked up. Well, no. I think you got a couple good pickups there that warranted ticket price and all that. But I definitely know like you were hoping to pick up something bigger and kind of like a steep, like a really good price at a really good grade, and that kind of pickup. But it'll happen. We're gonna get there this summer. I know you're gonna pick up some big books over the summer and get those graded and slabbed and get good results. So good. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like Jens and I went, and then we kind of we kind of kept just like looking in different directions. And I was looking out for Jens. I was like, I'm gonna, if there's something I run into and um that he's looking for, because he shares with like me like, looking kind of like this and that. And I don't know if you picked up the J. Scott Campbell cover too, the Gen 13 one. That's a beautiful one, but I figured for $2, yeah, you'd probably want that. So I hope you I hope you got that one. Yeah, I know you got that one because you bought it in front of me. So I know you got that one. So yeah, all in all, just a fantastic time. So now we're just waiting for Ron and Fanboy to book their flights out here and join us. But yeah, thanks for joining, guys. It's getting late, so appreciate all of you. Again, I had a fantastic. This is again just goes down in the history of my the journey, goes down in the comic book journey as a really memorable day because of just everything, what we picked up, the company we spent it with, just the just how chill it was. Very comfortable in the Linwood Event Center. It was just comfortable. It wasn't like there weren't a ton of people. It was kind of just a more intimate. I mean, it was hard to dig in the morning, but in the late afternoon, it like half the crowd had left, and it was just free reign. But yeah, I'm just kind of hitting myself that I didn't hit the $2 bins at the place where we picked up all the books, because it is what it is. But I figure we could have spent a little bit more there and picked up a lot more value there. But again, next time we go, that's where we'll be. We'll start there, and hopefully, you know, we'll have maybe some more opportunities to do trades and whatnot, but we'll see. Early bird tickets. All right. If you feel it's worth it, I don't know if it's. I guess a little bit. In that $2 bin, it would have helped for sure. We'll see. We'll see if we have money in August, man. I'm not feeling good about that prospect. I think, you know, usually by August I'm like I've got like $10 left, and I'm just running around. Well, we didn't pick up anything, but we know what's in those shops, and we're just you know it's always an interesting time when it comes to that. All right, kind of just kind of like decompress with everything, all the dopamine in my brain, and get some rest. So again, Summer Supergirl got it kicked off right with some big books. So hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Peace out, guys.